What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another midweek mini-sesh with those guys you hate. Tyler, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. I am still deciding whether this story we are going to tell should bring me shame of some kind.
I was thinking about this story that is coming down the pike, and I was wondering how you felt about telling it, but let's not divulge too much about this particular story.
Well, I'm just trying to grease the wheels, Ryan.
Well, then come on over here. I want to say before we get started, hey, everybody, I know I keep saying this over and over again, but this thing has been picking up steam, and I am so appreciative. I love the Haitian army, which is growing. All the people who started out a long time ago in the pyramid scheme that is those guys you hate, you have now graduated to the second level. You have underlings, and I think that you should know that.
And you know what else works in a tiered-like level?
Talk to me.
Cults.
Are you?
I mean, community.
Oh, communities. We're at the tip-top spike on this community. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we are videotaping all of these sessions. Tyler is grinding these things out for hours at a time and putting them on YouTube so you can come and see our ugly mugs as we do it. And what I want to say this week in particular, I am wearing our brand new merchandising.
You guys stop doing that. It'll make me giggle every time.
Merchandising.
Ran out of breath.
I am wearing our shirt as we speak. So you could go on YouTube right now, Those Guys You Hate without spaces, and you could see our new shirt.
And man, do you fill that out well.
You should see that Those Guys You Hate briefs. Because I don't.
I was going to say, we don't make those.
Yeah. Oh, really? What the hell am I wearing?
Then where did I get this from?
All right, Tyler. So tell me, is this going to be Tyler's biggest blunders? Is that what we're doing this week?
Absolutely. It has to be.
Okay.
Because this isn't Menendez family values. There are no values to be had.
It was just a blunder. Menendez family blunders. We'll mix them up. So Tyler, get me started on the story that we got going this week.
Well, this does take place. This is on our very first Menendez family vacation.
Well, not our first Menendez family vacation, but of the newer realm where we were traveling internationally.
The modern era of Menendez family traveling. Yes, yes. And we went to the Dominican Republic. It was our very first trip. Again, modern era. And I was 17 years old, which means you would have been 23 years old. And Mikey Menendez, our oldest brother, 25. So this goes back.
Math, baby.
This goes back. And
not that long. That seems, I feel like I was 23 just but a day or two ago.
And you look it.
And what you guys got to understand is this was a point where our family hadn't traveled internationally before. So they were very afraid. On our last couple of vacations, we are men of the people.
Absolutely.
We go out, we do our thing. We go to fish fries. We ask the locals, where are you going? And we'll meet you there. At this point, we wanted to stay in the American part. We could have just stayed in Florida and had the same kind of experience.
Sure. And the thing is we went to a very touristy area. So we went to the place where in Dominican Republic, it is a lavish place for tourists of all across the world to visit.
All-inclusive
resort. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. But right outside is like a crime-infested really run-down area.
Well, I just think that instead of using those words, I think that it's a third world country, isn't it? Isn't the Dominican Republic a third world country?
I wasn't speaking of the Dominican Republic generally, but
you just mean the area.
I mean the area specifically right outside of where we were staying. They were like, don't leave the grounds. Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yeah, but is that some of that marketing so that you stay there and just eat their food and drink their drinks?
I would absolutely assume so.
Well, and this is what I will tell you about that. We did go on some midday excursions, and that trip down to Dominican Republic was the first time that I had ever seen abject poverty.
Yeah.
I remember seeing houses with no doors and no windows.
No roofs in certain cases.
And that, I believe, was a really great thing for me to see.
Sure.
I mean that.
Yeah, absolutely. It puts things into perspective. So we're finally here, and this is my first international trip, as if we're not counting Canada, because what is Canada other than just the 51st state, if we're all being honest?
It's our neighbors upstairs, eh?
Pretty good, right? Not bad. Not a bad Canadian. Bit limited, but not bad.
Don't make me go any further. It's going to fall apart, eh?
That's pretty good.
I'm killing it, eh? I just keep saying eh. Anyway.
You are one A away from being Mexican.
Put it in my A, eh?
Always. Anyway. You are one butt joke away from gaydom.
Gay, eh?
So we are... it is my first international trip. and I am excited. And what I discover is that when you go to these countries, there's really no drinking age. I was 17 years old, and they were like, as long as you can reach the bar, you'll be fine.
Which you will never have it. You could have drank at 5 years old. And you're American. And they want to make you happy. They want to. Your debauchery is our pleasure.
And they did.
Yes. Well, all right. Foreshadowing.
They did.
Foreskin foreshadowing.
Ew.
Sorry.
So I went to the lobby bar, ordered my very first drink as a 17-year-old, nervous as fuck.
Now, where was everybody? What time of day was this?
We were in the lobby. This was right when we got to the resort.
Okay.
This is my first experience at the resort.
What did you order?
I ordered a Presidente because that is where it's made.
See, it is the beer of the people.
Mm-hmm. And it was delicious. There is something about freedom in a sip that it just makes it taste so much better than it normally would.
You obviously had alcohol before that.
Illegally, yes, right. But where it was bestowed upon me illegally.
No, it's the ordering of it in the comfort and doing it in public.
And the man looked me in the eyes and handed it to me with no hesitancy.
And he's like, "Here's your Presidente, eh?" I'm a foreign exchange student. I remember my first drink that I ever had. That experience that you're talking about is when I was with the band. We went over into Canada. And the drinking age was 19, and I sat at the bar and I had a beer, and I will remember that experience forever.
Absolutely. There's just something about that first glass in your hand.
Well, you feel like a man.
Very much so. It is a step into adulthood because that is where what we as a society has deemed
we got drinking problems, eh?
Age appropriate. So it was a really awesome experience. And like I said, it was my first international trip as well. You had already gone to many places.
You're already a man of the world.
All right, let's not get crazy.
I'd been to Europe. I had been all over the place.
That's true. Yep. I think you're still doing the Canadian accent.
I can't stop. I don't know what happened. I'm Canadian
all
now.
Over the place, eh?
I want to fuck a moose.
Okay, not all Canadians fuck moose.
The old moose knuckle.
So many tangents, so little time.
Sure, you're right.
So as you said, the family is very nervous. They're planning around this trip, and we do leave on different excursions, but they're planned within the resort. So when we leave the resort, we're on a resort shuttle and we go somewhere and do all that stuff.
Of course.
But one night we planned just the brothers, or you didn't go, did you?
I was on this vacation with my son's mom. This one, we went on together as a couple. I don't think I did a lot of our vacations as a couple, but this one we did.
That's right. And as you said, as you alluded to, we were all amateurs. We didn't know what to expect. So Ryan stayed back at the resort, but Mikey Menendez and our late sister, Tori Menendez.
Love you, Tori.
We three decided to go out to a club, not associated with the resort at all, just a local club that we wanted to check out. Ryan was being a party pooper. Oh, I'm here with my girlfriend. Oh, I want to have sex.
We'll be married one day.
I'm so cool.
Yeah, I love her, Tyler, and I'll never budge. Laugh out loud.
No, you're right. You're right.
That was worth it.
You're right.
Love you, Lisa.
No, don't say names.
There's plenty of Lisas, I'm sure.
That's true. There are a lot of Lisas. So we go out to this club, and she's quick, is what he's saying.
We can bleep that.
So we go out to this club, and it is a house. It's not a club. It is a 2-story house.
I wasn't there, so I'm gonna have to take your word on it.
Take my word for it, and it is graffitied up on the inside. It was really cool, but again, it was a house.
Just a house. Well, listen, man, in these days and age, you'll take whatever you could get.
Yeah, that's right. And so downstairs is the dance floor. Upstairs is just the bedrooms. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just picturing so much drogas.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Just in my mind, in the movie, in my mind, that's a story. I'm just picturing like a seedy kind of like scary kind of place.
More than likely, but it was really popular. The place was filled with people.
Sure.
And it's hard to be doing like truly debaucherous shit when there's that many people.
No, that's where the debauchery starts. You get the drogas there, and then you venture out into the landscape.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is, I'm saying,
if you're selling drugs in a different country, that's the place where you hang out because you're going to run into a bunch of young kids that are looking for drugs.
I meant the people doing the drugs. You're not going to find any people on a mattress.
They got their drugs there and they're going somewhere to do them.
Agreed. But I'm talking about this. This was a club. I'm just saying somebody remodeled their house to make it a club.
Love it.
So we're downstairs and our sister Tori has met a guy. So she's dancing with this guy.
You bitch.
And this, what?
I don't know.
She's dancing with this guy. And our oldest brother, Mikey Menendez, is not having any of it.
He's still doing that shit. He's now married with a stepdaughter, and he's still doing that shit. Like, she's a grown up.
She's 14 years old, and he's trying to stifle her dating. It's like, bro, you're like putting your finger in the leak of a dam, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it is a tidal wave.
Let's think of a different analogy. That one.
That's as I was saying it, I was like, maybe this isn't the right way to go.
No.
No.
You're not allowed to be a parent anymore.
Ever.
All right, so he is being too protective of our sister, who was an adult at that point.
Oh, absolutely.
And she was, she always met people, never in a crazy way. She was great at meeting people and becoming friends. Whenever we wanted to figure out where to go, we always just sent her, and she made friends in 2 seconds. I really looked up to that about her.
She was incredibly gregarious. She just had a way with people.
And she was beautiful. She had an incredible smile and just never was worried about what people were going to think about her. Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Ugly, hunchbacked, and I'm just terrified of what everybody thinks.
Hey, we all love your hunchback, buddy. It's okay.
Invite me to the party. My precious. Laugh out loud, you piece of crap.
Look, why do you keep calling me a piece of crap?
I don't know why I made that part of it. Excuse me. Let me do that again. Laugh out loud, eh?
It makes it nicer.
Yeah.
If you were really Canadian, you'd say please. So we go out to this club. Everybody's having a good time except Mikey Menendez, who's just letting this whole guy dancing with our sister get to him. And we get, as you would imagine, drunk.
Sure.
Very drunk.
Sure.
Wildly drunk. 17-year-old out in a foreign country just being given alcohol.
Literally white girl wasted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't know the ways of the world. I'm fresh meat out in the middle of the lion's den.
Glad we got that all taken care of.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
They say once you make enough mistakes, you learn from the world and you grow past it.
Yep.
I'm sure my day's coming. I'm making all the mistakes.
You're so tall because you're filled with knowledge.
Thank you, Ryan. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And while you were being facetious, that's one of the nicest things you've ever said to me,
it
buddy.
means you fucked up a lot.
Yes, well, that is true.
I'm a wordsmith. All right, so you're now drunk. You're now feeling
frisky. I'm feeling frisky.
Sure.
And at the time, I was smoking cigarettes. So I went.
We all were.
Yeah, that's true. I went to the back little playa area where everybody's hanging out.
The beach.
Smoking. What
kind of cigarettes did you smoke?
Cigarettes.
You're on a real smoker if you don't remember.
Nah. I mean, I want to say it was Marlboro Menthols.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. It's better than a Newport. I was smoking Parliament Light Hundreds, the big long ones that the grandmothers would smoke. They had charcoal in them. I have no fucking clue why.
You're a douche.
God, just thinking about it makes me choke. I miss you, cigarettes. If it wouldn't wreak havoc on my face, I would still smoke cigarettes.
And the way that you smell and the yellowing of your
Don't
teeth.
care about any of that. Don't care. It's just my vanity. The teeth, maybe.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
And the way you smell.
I don't smell it, though. I always smell like that, so I don't smell it. You got to deal with that.
That's okay.
Fuck off. Not you, but.
I don't think you're thinking of the
I miss you, cigarettes.
You do you, boo.
I'm trying to, but everybody's telling me I'm getting ugly because of it.
So while I am insecure at this, or wildly more insecure at this time in my life, I just shift between smoking outside and drinking at the bar.
Yeah, because you can be uncomfortable in these situations. Not you, anybody.
No,
when you're
for sure.
young and you don't know what to do to fit in with the vibe.
And not only that, I'm too insecure to just dance by myself. And
because Tori's with someone else.
Tori's with somebody.
Where's Michael?
Watching Tori.
Oh, wow. And that's his way of dealing with his insecurity.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. And so I'm just shifting back and forth. And man, should I be like offended that Michael didn't worry about me in any way, shape, or form? He was so focused on her. He was like, dude, Tyler could get murdered right now. And I'm busy.
He's a man.
Yeah,
if he gets murdered, it's just part of being alive. She's a woman. We got to protect her.
I do agree with that to a certain extent. But I could have been murdered, Ryan.
You're a man. That's your fault.
That's true. So while I'm doing my insecure shift back and forth between bar and cigarette, I get approached by from what I remember, beautiful woman.
Okay.
Beautiful woman. As I said, I was insecure. I was naive. And she only spoke so many words of English.
Right.
I thought she was just attracted to me.
Yeah.
I thought, wow.
I'm still pretty sure that's the case.
I'm thinking to myself, whoa, man, I am an American and I am killing it. I am
crushing it. I had that same experience in Costa Rica, as you will recall. Different story for a different time.
That's right.
I didn't do it. Okay. I didn't do it.
As a matter of fact, he got offended.
Oh, I told her she should be paying me.
He really did.
I really did.
He really did. He was offended that a prostitute approped him.
The most beautiful woman I've ever
She was gorgeous.
Not that I've ever seen. I
was going to say, be careful.
Maybe the second. But I was like, listen, I'm going to be doing all the work. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah. So I got approached and we hit it off. We were dancing. Even Michael gave me the nod. Our oldest brother looked over and was like,
oh, I'm definitely doing
the right thing. Gave me the nod, yep. So I come to realize that everybody's gone at one point. I look around, my brother's gone, my sister's gone. All I got is this beautiful woman in front of me.
Sounds like a problem.
And I am drunk, and I realize I don't have a care in the world.
Sure. Sure.
I'm alone in a foreign country with a beautiful woman whom I don't know at all who approached me. And I'm like, this is totally normal.
I've seen movies, bro. This is exactly how it goes.
I've listened to Dateline. Yeah. I believe is where you should have put that.
And then all of a sudden Keith Morrison comes on. Oh, the idiot didn't know what was happening.
Time freezes and he walks onto the scene. And this is where it all went wrong.
Red wedding.
Not everything's a wed redding. So time passes and I don't know how long it could have been. Due to relativity, it could have been 5 minutes. It could have been 5 hours. We, meaning this woman and I, go out back to smoke a cigarette and we're touching on each other and my hand is on her leg and I'm 17. I've never had this kind of experience before in terms of just being on vacation and allowed to be as debaucherous as I want.
Who knew that we were going to grow into that?
Oh, man.
Where it was just going to be all the time.
I really took on that role well.
Good on you.
No, Ryan, not good on me. And so
bad on you.
So we're sitting here and I am having the time of my life. I've got fire running through my veins.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, she puts her hand on my chest.
She's a professional, bro. She knows what she's doing.
She knew. I mean, she had Marilyn Monroe vibes. She had all the right turns and the wink and all that.
Exposing her wrists and her neck.
And then she, puts her hand on my chest and she leans in and she goes, $80. And I was so wrapped up in the chemicals pulsing through my body, my brain needed a moment to wait. Hold on, let's bring some of the energy back up here to compute. And I was like, what? And she's like, $80. I live close.
Wow.
It was a new experience again for me. I've never been in this situation before.
Sure.
So my first thought was, that would get me murdered. My first thought was, if I leave off of this club where my brother and sister are,
I'm going to a house.
Like a residential place without a group of people to see whether I get murdered.
Just me, her, and the murderer.
Yes, exactly. And then I'm sitting there thinking, I will get murdered if I leave.
That's my thought too. Like if you're trying to buy drugs or you're trying to do whatever, if you're trying to take me off site, not that I buy drugs, I'm going to die.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My second thought was, do I have $80?
You sure those two were flip-flop?
Because of the speed of the human brain, they were right there. They were right there.
I want to live, but where the fuck is my wallet?
So I am thinking to myself, if I reach into my pocket, that means I am assuming responsibility for this situation. Obviously, I wasn't putting into these words. I'm just looking back on it with hindsight.
Sure.
If I reach into this pocket, I am basically non-verbally agreeing.
Well, you're letting her know that you may or may not put it together. That doesn't mean that you're going to do it.
Very much so. So I reach into my pocket and pull out my money. $20.
Ooh.
$20.
The f does 20 bucks gets you a pinky in your pee hole?
20. I wish $20 gets me basically everything that she's done up until this point.
She takes it and walks away.
That's right. That's right. So I don't have the $80.
Yeah.
So we just sit there and she's trying to negotiate with me and I'm trying to explain to her that I don't have the resources to give her what she wants.
You're sucking a dry rock.
Perfect analogy.
Right? Am I right?
Just perfect. I'm just picturing that. So This goes on for, again, relative to time, this could have been going on
14 years.
This could have been a hostage negotiation.
Sure.
That's
give me the money. I don't have the money.
I'm trying to call the right people, but I don't have anybody's number.
I can't pull over any further.
That's a Super Troopers reference.
Hey.
And so it's sad to say that it finally ends with her just getting more and more frustrated,
right?
And me getting more and more drunk,
and
me trying to explain to her that A, I don't have the money, and B, why should she just touch my pee-pee anyway?
Yeah, I mean, what is $80 when it comes to true love, Prostitute?
I'm just trying to explain. Look, if you just touch it.
Look, maybe $80 will come out of my hole. Dry rot.
What's your deal?
I don't know, dude. It's early. I may be getting sick. I'm not sure what's happening right now. I got the vid.
And so, just to close out this story, it ends with her just taking my $20 and leaving.
And she walked away?
She just walked away.
That's a crime.
I mean...
Could you pick her out of a lineup?
I'm wondering if the bigger crime would be her calling the cops and being like, this guy wasted an hour of my time.
Yeah, it was at least $40 of time, and I only got $20.
So
wait a minute. How did she get the $20 out of your hand?
Well, I was just holding it in my hand.
And she just grabbed it.
Well, and we were playing around, and she was being flirtatious, and she put it, in her hand, and I was too drunk and too wrapped up in her spell to like take it back. And she didn't put it away immediately. And so I was, trying to do something, and I was in a place of weakness, as you can imagine. I was not in a position of power.
I wasn't wearing pants.
Not only did I not have the money, she had the equipment that was desired after. I am the man in the situation.
The vagina.
I am not. Yes, thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm helping out. I don't know. They play this in schools. Sometimes it's, pre-sex ed.
And so the final image that I have in my mind of this woman walking away from me with my $20, I am alone in a club that I don't know with a libido that wants to do a job that cannot be fulfilled.
Pulsating.
Just killing me. Yeah. So I get up and I'm like doing that, that crutch walk when you're like trying to like hide it. So you're like tilt over and you're just like tiptoeing basically.
I did that yesterday.
I mean,
serious.
I would like to know why you had to do
different that. Mini-Sesh.
Yes, please. And so I walk upstairs, I walk inside and I do not see Mikey Menendez or Tori Menendez.
Mm-hmm.
So I go upstairs and I'm drunk. So I'm not doing that like Eagle Scout where I'm like looking around and picking out all the faces. I'm just like meandering and like wobbling through the hallways. Just like
angry at your boner.
Just like go away already. Yeah. She doesn't love us.
Yeah. She'll be back.
No, she won't.
No.
And so I am looking around and don't see them. And again, I wish I could give you an amount of time that I wandered around that place looking for any face that I saw familiar, just looking for milky white skin of my brother and sister. All I see is caramel macchiato skin around me.
Beautiful skin. And you knew that wasn't Mikey.
No, definitely not.
Where's the Jewish accountant?
I'm looking for a beacon of white light within this beautiful Cafe con leche field.
Like in a video game, like the checkpoint that just goes straight up into the sky.
That's right.
Like they're opening a business.
That's right, like the bat signal, shoot it up into the clouds so I know where you are.
Commissioner Gordon, we found Mikey Menendez.
And so I don't know what the decision was at the time in terms of what the catalyst, what the straw was that broke the camel's back. But I thought to myself, I got to get back to the resort.
I'm going to die here.
I got to get back to the resort.
Yeah.
But thankfully I was just drunk enough at that point to be like, I got this.
Yeah.
I got this. Now I've learned enough of the dangers of the world. I would be terrified. At that time, 17 years old, woo, I'm an American. I can do whatever I want.
Let's venture out. Wow, you sound like an American. Let's venture out into the wilderness. Everything's going to be just fine.
So the day before, we went to a casino on the resort.
I recall.
Do you remember that?
Sure.
I walked outside, and the first thing they tell us when we get into Dominican Republic is never get on a motorcycle taxi. Just don't do it.
Because they may not actually be a taxi. They may cut you into little pieces.
They'll take you somewhere, just not the place you want to go.
Yep.
And so I walk outside, and there are just a row of motorcycle taxis.
You know what? That person who gave me advice was probably an idiot.
And so I walk out and immediately get swarmed, which happens at any taxi place, really.
Sure.
And so I pick one guy out of the lot.
The least murderous.
He seemed friendly.
Sure.
And I said to him, and I'm like, casino? And he goes, oh yeah, casino. Hop on. Although I think he said
I'm not going anywhere near a casino, is what he said.
That's right. That's just nowhere near. Woo, this guy says casino.
Bratislava?
Bratislava. So I love all these little arbitrary movie references that we're dropping into.
So weird because that's not my personality at all. We're just hitting all like the 4 movies that I know.
Well, Ryan, I'm so proud of him because he has to peek behind the curtain. He has to restrain himself when I'm the one doing the majority of the talking because he hates it.
It's when the show's at its worst. Is when I'm in charge.
He insults. He insults when he feels vulnerable.
Well, that's the character that I'm supposed to play, right?
The character.
Satire,
right,
baby.
Right. No, it's not.
Satire.
Where was I?
So you're on this motorcycle.
So I get on this motorcycle. He drives me to the casino. There's more than one casino. He drops me off at this one. Even in my state of drunkenness, I look up and think to myself, this is not the right place.
I have never seen this casino.
So I have given this taxi driver, thinking he has rescued me, brought me to the right place, all of my money. I just tipped him all of my money. So now I'm at this different casino.
Yeah.
Totally out of money.
Sure.
By myself. And then I'm starting to I'm like out front. Think of getting like left at a club drunk near your house. You're like, fuck, bro, this sucks. I am having that experience in a different country.
Sure, but you don't even know where you are. You don't know how to get back.
Nobody around me speaks English. I'm standing there. Thankfully, I must have had a look of sheer panic on my face.
You're just giving out that vibe of this kid's in trouble.
Absolutely. One of the doormen at the casino spoke perfect English.
Yeah.
So he walks up and he goes, hey, man, what's up? I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to a casino.
Yeah.
This is the wrong casino.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go to the other casino. And he goes, dude, what resort are you staying in? And I'm like, I'm like, I forgot the name of the resort. Thankfully, I was wearing the wristband.
Tyler was 38 years old at this point. I just want everybody to know that.
Chronologically, that joke doesn't make any sense, and yet I support it.
Sure.
I was wrapped up in a whirlwind of confusion and fear.
And so what did this guy do?
So he said, dude, what resort are you with? And I had that look of panic of like, oh my God, I don't remember. And he's like, I'm like, oh. And it was the name of the resort.
Whatever it was, sure.
And he goes, oh, bro, don't worry. I doubt he was calling me bro and dude, but bro, don't worry. I can get you a shuttle over there. Finally, the fear melts away. The solution.
My hero.
He has just saved my life, basically. Yeah. I thought I was going to, I'm like, well, I live in Dominican Republic now.
Yeah, in the jungle.
So the shuttle pulls around. I hop on this shuttle. He takes me to my resort, thankfully, but drops me off on the opposite side of the resort.
Sure.
And the resort's huge.
Sure.
So he drops me off on this side of the resort and he is expecting a tip. I don't have any money.
Right.
So I said, hold on 1 second. I'm going to go pull some money out of my account to tip you. I go and I don't know. I should have looked up the currency of the Dominican Republic, but the exchange rate was, as you can imagine, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in my card and it does it in their money. So I have like 3 million units of currency in my account. I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah.
So I pull out like 200.
2 million?
I pull out like 200 and run back. And the guy looks at it. I probably gave him like 10 cents.
Yeah.
So I do this back and forth multiple times until I finally get it right. You can imagine how embarrassing this was, but I wanted to tip him right. And I'm willing to do this.
So why didn't you just ask him like, what is appropriate?
I think I finally did.
Yeah.
Finally, I go up to the concierge on this side of the resort and ask him to give me a ride to the other side. Second shuttle takes me to the right side. And as I pull up, I see my entire family. This is like at 3 a.m. My entire family standing right outside the front of the hotel as I come just sitting on the side of the golf cart that's pulling me in, just waving my legs without a care in the world. I was happy at this point because I was like, woo, I had made it. I was ecstatic. I come home or back to the front of the resort with a family stricken by panic.
Sure.
Stricken by panic because they thought I had gone missing.
Everybody's worst fears were coming true.
Yes. And mom was leading the way with her panic. It was just sheer, unfiltered panic.
Great job.
Well, do you want to give your perspective on it? What was going on?
I was in the room the whole time.
You didn't experience any of it?
I didn't experience any of it.
Oh, I thought you had gotten a little taste of
Mom. I told you.
Mama Menendez freaked out the rest of the day, or the rest of the night, didn't get any sleep. As you can imagine, everything was sheer panic from that point out. And that, Ryan, is the story of me getting lost in Dominican with a
prostituta. Fantastic job, Tyler. Fantastic job. That is our mini sesh this week. You did a great job.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the trip down memory lane.
Thank you for sitting here and letting me ramble.
We all got gonorrhea. That's okay. It's all right. We're getting better and better at this, man.
Well, we gave gonorrhea to each other.
Yep,
You're leaving
right.
that detail out.
Whole different mini sesh. Mm-hmm. We are those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you. I was about to steal it from you. He beat me to it.
That's not how we do
Finger guns. Pew, pew, pew. Red circle. Hot like fire.
So I'm listening to this Dateline, Tyler. Okay? I listen to this. I'm being serious. Tell me what you think of this.
All right, fine.
And the intensity upon which my ear holes have been lit on fire. There's a woman, and they find her in a park screaming. A bunch of people call the cops. There's a woman screaming in the park.
Okay. The classic story.
Right. So the police officer shows up, and this woman is stripped naked except for a sock, covered in red duct tape, and she has been violently and sexually abused.
Wow.
I mean, like hanging by a thread.
Ooh, that sounds terrible.
So they can't figure out who did it. She gives DNA swabs or whatever. They run that through CODIS. You know what CODIS is?
Yeah, the database for everybody's DNA.
The international database for felons.
Nice.
Doesn't pop up. So they think it's one of her friends, whatever. They test all of her friends. Nobody. And here's what happened. She was drinking in a park with a guy, got too drunk, fell asleep. The guy left her.
Oh, that's...
I mean...
How long ago was this? Was this during a time of Uber?
No chance.
Oh, yeah. So that, you can't.
Well, Craigslist was around, so I don't know.
So what, you want to sell her while she's passed out?
Craigslist factors into the story later on, so I don't know. Is Uber and Craigslist?
No, Craigslist was around long before. Anyway, go on.
Nonetheless, can't find her. She goes on with her life. Moves into this house, meets this guy, moves into a house with a bunch of guys, years later, they can't find out. There's, in Colorado, where it took place, if you try to pawn something that is stolen, it's a felony.
Mm-hmm.
Put this guy's DNA into CODIS because it's a felony. It's a hit for the guy who did this to her.
Yeah, the guy who committed the crime.
It was one of the guys that lived in the house. Didn't know her 2 years earlier. They had since moved out of the house.
Wow.
On Dateline, they have the actual phone call of her calling him up and confronting him.
Oh, when she found out and she had now established a somewhat relationship with this guy.
No, they had a relationship. They knew each other. She confided in him about the attack. And she's like...
And he knew, obviously, that it was him.
He knew that it was him.
Oh.
And comforted her. She didn't... And he just happened to move into a place with her by pure happenstance 2 years later. And so they're talking, and she's like, you did this to me. And he's like, Amber, I did not do this to you. And, by the way, if your kid's name is Amber, she's going to be murdered.
Yeah.
Every woman on Dateline is named Amber.
Yeah. That woman's lucky she made it out alive.
Absolutely.
Because her name is Amber. She beat the statistics.
She wanted it. She was asking for it. If you didn't want it, you wouldn't come named like that.
And we brought it back because it's ridiculous.
That's not offensive. That's stupid. So, and there's literally just one point where she's like, then why was your DNA in my vagina, dude? Literally said, dude. So anyway.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the severity of the conversation.
No.
You're just, you call women dude. But when a woman calls a dude, that's wrong?
Sounds stupid coming out of your mouth, Amber. It's a come to God moment.
And did he finally fess up to it, or did he go to his grave denying the crime?
I haven't heard the very end of it yet.
I'm sure you've heard it like 4 times already.
I have, but what makes these things so good is that I can't remember shit. I have no fucking clue, Tyler. But
wow, that's a disappointing conclusion.
It is unfortunate. And the end of the story is I don't know. No, but what ends up happening is when they are on this phone call, he's like, at the very end, you can hear the wheels turning. And he's
course.
like, wait a minute, you were at such and such park? Oh, yeah, I had sex with you. But I didn't hurt you, Amber. But I will if you come over right now.
I'm assuming that last part is made up.
He didn't say that. That would be very.
But so what you're saying is he tried to move the goalposts. He's like,
my semen?
we had sex.
My semen?
But I didn't hurt you.
I found your DNA inside my neck wounds. Oh yeah, you had big gaping holes in your neck and you told me to finger them, Amber. I wasn't into it, but you were. I was trying to please you. Now I'm going to jail for pleasure.
Why do I have a boner? You have a boner.
So you're rubbing my semen in your wounds.
So what's up with the red duct tape, dude?
It's an interesting calling card. It's very strange. Arsonists, murderers, they all have these things that they just perpetuate.
Well, he's not a murderer. He's a rapist.
He thought he was going to be a murderer.
He
left her for dead. He left her to die.
Wow.
No, she was in very bad shape.
Well,
as a
positive pregame here.
As a podcast, we stand against that.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Yes, we do. Weird that you have to specify.
We are anti-rape.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the red duct tape.
This week? Flip-floppers.
That's what's fun about this show. You never know which way we're going to go.
That's exactly it. Sexually and criminally.
Should we do the show?
Probably not, but let's do it.